I think it's safe to rest here now.
Nice, right.
Hey, if we find anyone who needs help here...
I know. We'll make sure to ask what's wrong.
Yeah, I'll do side quests later. Corner up the story. That's still an upgrade.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Watch, I'll find that after though. Oh well. Oh, I just remembered I need some of those. Oh well. I'll buy them later.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bathon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Alright, let's get the mask put back on in the cutscenes. That's what I was worried about. See when it
Have it your
actually
way.
gets broken off.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
See which.
I see someone who looks troubled about something.
A little compassion can make all the difference. I propose we speak to them.
Ah, got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed. Mahag-Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Isn't
Thanks,
it
Jen.
strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
Alright. Oh, these are different.
No holding back.
This'll be a piece of cake!
Where are you going? These ones can run rings around us. Raging cascade. More for them.
Damn it!
Lightning orb.
Stand back! I'll trip it up.
So those are Dan and Astral Arts.
Something you want to say?
Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
Dragon Swarm! Lost my focus! Megasonic Thrust! You're finished! Do it!
Where's Eva? This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I can feel my precision improving.
Okay, so which way do we want to go? Close.
Somehow, things are even worse outside the city than they are inside.
Yeah, it's all ruined. Houses and everything else.
Even if it was all in the name of beating the Renans, this is... Phew, what a rush.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
Shit to do.
I think Hoodle senses something.
Is there a fast travel point here? Yeah, right there. Alright, cool.
Why didn't the Renans take advantage?
Hi, Hoodle!
Take this!
Glacial Spear!
Pierce Eagle!
Eat this! In a bind?
Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang! Shockwave Plat! Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say? If it's in the sky, it's mine!
I'll trip it up.
You're mine! It's over!
Far enough!
You're mine! Double Demon Fang!
Thank goodness we won.
Nothing, eh?
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
It's over! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! Shockwave
I'm
Plat!
also good with airborne targets.
Here I come!
Take this!
Got me flanked!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
I'll be saving this one.
Take this! You're on! No escape! sharp! Lightning tiger blade! I can feel my power growing!
Oh, do a little loop. This looks like a big little mini boss. We'll see how this goes.
Get lost!
Eat this! No escape! Dragon Swarm!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage!
Here I come! Eternal devastation!
In a bind?
You're finished!
There you go!
Not in your
I
dreams!
feel like me again.
Mega Ray! Light
Not
Astral
again.
Energy! Raging Cascade! Feel! I never miss!
You're finished! You picked the wrong fight!
Here's
Here
a
I
healing
come!
art!
It's over!
All the issues ready and ready.
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! Shockwave Strike! Here I come!
I can carve through armor.
Here's a healing art!
First strike! I'm not done!
It does it.
Megasonic Thrust! Here I come!
Flame of Fury!
It does it.
It's over!
More for the stockpile!
Here we go again.
Here I come!
Here, let me help!
It's on! Ignite! Take this! You're finished! Double Demon Fang! No further! Here I come!
I'll tear you apart. I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. Eat this. Let's
Here's a healing art!
Take this!
First
Double
aid!
Demon Fang!
Arch Shield! Glacial Spear!
I feel kind of funny.
Yeah, you're looking funny too!
Right. I should probably do something about that.
Here's a healing art!
I'll smash you.
Leave the enemy's art to me!
Spot. No complaints here.
Rising Gale! This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm!
Gusty Nail!
Double Demon Fang!
Here's a healing art!
It's on!
Lightning Condemned! Thunder Blade!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'll end you.
Gravitas Field! Here goes! Dance in the wind!
finished.
I'm all stuck out!
Double Demon Fang!
Here, let me help!
Denied. Shouldn't have messed with me.
Do it! Lost!
Demon's Descent. Flashing Fang.
With this, I can become even stronger!
Hey, didn't we find a recipe that...
Yeah, we can use this for it.
Holy, there's two more of these guys. All right.
Go no further!
It does it. Can't get out of this. I'll tear you apart.
Here I come! Double Demon Fang!
Airborne beast.
My
Shockwave Strike! Lightning Swarm! We got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
What's this?
All yours! Double Demon Fang!
These fists have got your name on them.
Raging
Take this! It's over!
Dragon Gale. It must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! One deadly strike, just as ordered. Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
I didn't mean to craft. Fuck that shit.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately? What's this thing?
Gone! Not today! Glimmer fist!
Here I go.
It can hide itself? Amazing!
This one's mine. Shining
I can
supernova.
carve through armor! No escape!
I can handle it.
Hear me. Flames of fury.
Man in the groove!
Raging cascade.
All this thing takes time! Here I come!
Shining supernova. Dance in the wind. Hold together. Just a little longer.
Thanks for the sympathy!
Get it together. We need you informed.
I'll run you through! Watch this!
Dance in the wind. Feel. More for the stop sign.
It's too much!
Lightning is cover. Here, let
You
me
picked
help.
the wrong fight!
One more time.
Eagle fly! Okay, here I go! You apart! You're finished!
Shining supernova.
Double demon fang!
Here's the focus. Dance in the wind. Air thrust. Light acceleration.
You're on! You're mine! You're mine!
Dance in the
Nothing
wind.
gets by me.
Ready for it! You're finished! Here!
Magic is there.
Look it! Lightning thrust! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Glimmer
I
dragon!
never miss. Go
I
get
can
him.
carve through. Now I'm in the groove.
Confiscated.
This one's all mine.
Here's a healing art.
Not today.
Lightning raging cascade.
Dragon form.
Spread by the
Double
power of
demon
the
fang.
wind.
Chocolate
In here.
flash.
Downfall. I'll be saving this one.
Take this.
Magic
Here I come.
energy.
It's over. Double demon fang. Dragon form.
May a thousand gales carry you
Charge
through.
like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, by the way.
No, that is
Here, let me help.
Double demon fang. You're finished. First strike. This one's all mine.
Glacial
Double
down.
demon fang.
Lock. Get toasty.
First strike.
I've used a bit too much healing.
Right, I'll just rest real quick. Go check out that area.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Is there a reason you're looking at me so intently?
Shion's kind of turned into the local fashion critic in our group.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
What's up, Kisara? You look concerned.
Oh, no, it's just... I'm looking at our finances and they seem to have taken a nosedive. I don't remember us making any big purchases, though.
Ah, that may be because I borrowed a small amount to purchase something the other day.
I don't think you can call spending more than half of our money a small amount.
Half? Dohalim, what the hell did you buy?
As it so happens, I came upon a rather special object that I've long been searching for.
Are you talking about that junk? That unique-looking trinket you're holding?
Whoa, is that
Indeed. It is a lost artifact from ancient Danan times. Most likely, it was used for some sort of rite or ritual. Ever since we Renans conquered Dana, such objects have been disappearing. I simply want to do my part to help preserve both our people's storied histories.
Well, if
I'm gonna
it's
have
to
to do some
preserve
video
Danon
dumps to free
history,
up some storage there
then I
soon.
guess we can maybe look the other way. Just this once?
I don't know. Why spend money on something that won't even keep us fed?
More to the point, we all contribute to that money. I don't like the thought of anyone dipping into it without saying anything.
You must understand. Had I let that opportunity pass me by, I'd never have come across this item again.
Dohalim, maybe no one taught you that money doesn't grow on trees.
I may have been a lord, but I realize that much.
It's not enough to simply realize it. You have to internalize the concept too. Even after all this time, you still have no real sense of money. Our funds aren't your personal wallet. We camp outside and eat grass for dinner to try and stretch every last gold we have. You never know when we may need it.
I don't think we're so poor that we have to eat grass or anything.
Shut up, Alphen.
Shutting.
Let's just agree to not spend too much or be too thrifty for our own good.
Alphen, your blazing sword draws its power from Shion's Firemaster core, right?
So I'm told.
Then why don't you use yours, Dohalim?
You mean my Earth Master Core, yes?
Yeah, you still carry it around with you, don't you?
I do. Each Master Core contains the astral energy harvested from Danon slaves over the course of the last 3 centuries. Though only a select few qualified people, namely the lords, can wield them. they nevertheless hold too much power to simply abandon.
If only the lords are supposed to be able to use them, how come Alphen and Shion can use theirs?
That may be because Shion has embedded the Fire Master core within her body, something which wouldn't have occurred under normal circumstances.
Okay, but why do you still carry yours around?
Just as Danans see Master Cores as symbols of the lives and resources robbed from them, so too do I view mine as a symbol of our lasting sins. The pain and agony wrought upon this world by my predecessors, as well as the injustice enabled by my own inaction, are all housed within my Master Core. It is a testament of all that I have done wrong. It cannot ever be used again, nor fall back into the wrong hands.
Dohalim.
You didn't differentiate between the deaths of Danans and the deaths of Renans.
Danans and Renans both spill blood and languish in agony all the same. I just couldn't bear to hear it any longer. That's all.
Little late for that.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield?
Lengthy episode
It's
here.
becoming a familiar
Video.
sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
See you tomorrow.
Alright, nice. Okay, I'll get that after.
Before we go, do you guys have everything?